Hey everybody, Joe Rexrode, John Adams, Blake Toppmeyer here in Hoover, Alabama, SEC Media Days 2. Today was Vols Day, guys. Let's start with Blake with the news. News of the day.
Well, not much of it. I think the biggest news was the update on Trey Smith. I thought it was the most favorable outlook we've heard yet that Trey Smith could play this year. It wasn't a definitive all clear, but it was the doctors are figuring out a plan to allow Trey Smith to play football this year. I definitely think it was the most we've heard to give an indication to make me think Trey Smith very likely, I don't know about very likely, but could be, seems more favorable than not that he'll be on the field this year.
And still nothing on the transfers, of course. A couple guys who could really help this team this year. Now for the commentary, John, your overall takeaway from what we heard from Jeremy Pruitt, Daniel Petulli, Darrell Taylor, Jarrett Guarantano.
Well, one of the things that I agree with Blake in your first question, though, that's very significant about Trey Smith. I mean, as Blake said, this is more than we've heard. Trey Smith can play. That offensive line takes on a completely different outlook. I think that's very significant. Otherwise, I think it was the standard stuff from the coach and the players. One thing that stuck out to me, though, was Jarrett Guarantano, who's gotten very little attention from the media. He's just rarely been made available since Jeremy Pruitt became head coach. He might be one of the most articulate players in the league, maybe the most articulate quarterback.
Yeah, well, you and I spent a lot of time with him too, also talking interesting stuff about he had dinner at Jeremy Pruitt's house, and some blueberry cobbler, and some few things I take from him. One, sir, I think he loves Jim Chaney. I think and he made it sound like a massive difference in control at the line of scrimmage and freedom. You know, without sort of saying I had none before. He's like, I can't put into words how much different. So Jim Chaney, it sounds like it's like film sessions all the time with Jim Chaney, and then and the Pruitt thing too. I mean, I think, you know, year one, Jeremy Pruitt's establishing a culture. I think year two, it feels, guys, like there's a lot more emphasis on the relationship side of things.
I thought that was interesting. And with Chaney, it's kind of more of what we've been hearing. It was obvious Jarrett Guarantano really clicked with Jim Chaney from the start. I asked him, you know, why he was spending more time doing film work with his offensive coordinator this year, and he said it was because I was invited to do it. I thought that was kind of a telling answer, that Jim Chaney wants him in the room with him for some of these, you know, one-on-one film sessions. And I really thought that story about Guarantano and Pruitt was interesting too, because I asked him when their relationship kind of turned a corner. And a lot of times when you ask guys that questions, they'll say, well, it's a gradual process.
There's not one moment.
Yeah. He had the one moment.
He had the moment.
He said in February when Jeremy Pruitt and his wife Casey invited Guarantano and his girlfriend over to their house for dinner, the four of them. For Jarrett Guarantano, that was his turning point in his relationship with Jeremy Pruitt, he said, and I think you can kind of see why that would be the case. Year one, like you said, got to establish the culture, but it just sounds so much more productive, and you could almost see Guarantano light up when he was talking about the way his relationship with his coach is different now than this time a year ago.
Joe, I think if Tennessee fans watched the video of both Jeremy Pruitt talking about Guarantano and Guarantano talking about himself and his role in the program, I think they'll feel a lot better about this football season. It's just a different feel with Guarantano. And Jeremy Pruitt's talking a lot about what a gym rat he is, using that old term, how much he wants to stay. I don't remember hearing that before.
Yeah, he also talked about, I think he said, 60 guys stayed back. It was 20 a year ago. You know, and look,
he used the word mini-mester when he was talking about that. That was,
you tweeted about it. That got a tweet from you. That is a heck of a word. You know, you always hear a lot of the same things when it's going year one to year two, like everybody knows the system, things like that. People know each other better, so it gets repetitive, you know, if you're around this long enough. But it's also stuff that actually could matter, and, you know, especially for a team that, I mean, to me, I still wonder about this team up front, you know, on both sides of the ball, and some of those personnel questions are tied to that. But you gotta like the back seven on D, I think, and, you know, again, if Guarantano's upright and takes that big step and can do way more pre-snap at the line, I still think he's a talented guy. I think maybe some people downgrade him a little bit based on some uneven performances last year?
I think he can be one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the SEC.
And it's a good year. It's a good quarterback, right?
Yeah, it's a good league for quarterbacks. What I like about Guarantano is his toughness. The way we've always talked about that, how he handles getting hit, he just keeps getting back up. I think teammates look at a guy like that, a quarterback, and say, "This is our kind of guy. He can handle the contact and position." And I think Jarrett Guarantano is very important to him to have the confidence of his coach. I mean, it's important to everybody, but I think especially so with him. I think that really matters to him. I think he has it now.
And it's very important that Jeremy Pruitt makes him available to media all year long, so please do that. Jeremy Pruitt, by the way, talked for 21 minutes in his opening statement, right? 21 of the 30, so a very
just left
savvy
9
veteran, 9 minutes
for
for questions. Very impressive. Anything else, guys, from today that stands out?
That covers it. Guarantano,
what other
Trey
teams were
Smith,
here? I don't know. Yeah. What other teams were here? I don't even know.
No one cares.
Yeah, Matt Luke was here. Yeah, we okay. That's about it then. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have tons of coverage at GoVolsExtra.com and Tennessean.com.